Man, the weather is so weird. It's -14 today, and I'm actually filming this, it's Thursday, and on Saturday, +10 Celsius. So strange. Anyways, I've been using this laptop right here. This is the Huawei D15. Now this is, I believe, the 2021 models, which has kind of been 2021 through 2022. I do believe that there is, or there will be, an updated version coming out. This one here is running the Intel 11th Gen processor on it. So we're going to talk about it today. Again, I've been using this for the past month, and I wanted to give you my thoughts on what I think of it. Okay, Huawei D15. So I have the D15 and I have the Huawei 14S, both running 11th Gen Intel processors. This one, of course, running the i5 with 8 gigs RAM. And I have the 14S, which is also the 11th Gen, but it's the i7 with 16 gigs RAM. And a few things. Actually, before we get into like performance and things like that, which actually I think it did actually really well. Let's talk about the laptop in itself. So first off, this is a 15-inch laptop, widescreen. It actually has a anti-glare screen on it, which actually I really like on this one. And, you know, I think, again, I will kind of put this up against the 14S. I think if you have like a one-stop shop and you want this for being able to do some schoolwork, you want it to be able to do some homework stuff, not like homework, but work from the home. You want to be able to use it for some business things. You want to also use it for entertainment purposes, like watching Netflix or watching YouTube, things like that. This machine is really good. I really like this. I've been using this kind of as my daily just using computer. I don't use it for my editing or anything like that because I have way more faster computers for that. But you can, and I do have some videos up that put this up against the 14S, just so you guys know, or maybe you're interested. Anyways, build quality, really good. Someone had commented on one of my previous videos that they had seen some concerns with the hinge and that the hinge was having issues. I have not experienced that by any means. You can see the laptop here, right? Like, that hinge is strong. The fact that I can hold it like that and it doesn't flop, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Like that hinge is super good. I can put it pretty much anywhere except right near the bottom. There it goes, it closes, which I think it should do it at that point. One finger, it's tight enough so that it does lift the laptop up. And then I wouldn't want it any tighter than that, nor would I want it any looser than that. So I think that's actually really good. Keyboard, if you have ever used a Mac keyboard, this feels very much like a Mac keyboard. I use a Mac computer and I love this keyboard, maybe because of the fact that I use a Mac keyboard so much. It doesn't have a lot of travel, but neither do Mac keyboards. But it works like really good. I have zero complaints with this keyboard. Everything's where it should be. Trackpad works really nicely. Fingerprint scanner has never failed me as of yet. So it turns on, like I can power this. I think it should have power in it right now. Hopefully. Here it comes. Yep. Screen, it's not the brightest screen out there, but bright enough. You know, we could go into a whole bunch of specs, which we may, but it works really good. The other thing that I actually really like about this laptop is it doesn't have a huge bezel on it. So the screen does take up a lot of what's out here. So you don't get this thick bezel on it, which I do like. Again, metal body, fingerprint scanner like we talked about. Resolution wise of the screen, you are looking at a 1920 by 1080 resolution screen. So, you know, for this size of display, I would say it works very well. I don't have any issues with clarity on text. Of course, if you're comparing it to like a 4K or 2.5K, you may see some differences for sure. Now, this does have a few certifications. It has a flicker-free and they call it a reduced blue lights certification. So for those that are maybe experiencing some eye strain, this can be really good. Processor-wise, again, this is the 11th Gen i5 with the Iris X or XE, I believe they call it, graphics. So it's the integrated graphics. You know, you can do anything that you would want to do out of a computer with this machine. I've done video editing on it using DaVinci Resolve. I have definitely played some games. Now, you're not going to get, you know, AAA games playing at full resolution and high quality graphics and things like that, but I've pretty much been able to play most games that I've tried. Sometimes I've had to bring the graphics down a little bit, but I can play them, so I've been really happy with that. It is nice too with the Intel chipset. I find that they are updating the firmware of those chips a lot. I would probably say that once every couple weeks to a month, I get a bunch of updates. So they're improving that chipset, which nothing wrong with that. They do say that this is running the Wi-Fi 6, so you should get faster load times, faster speeds on your internal network. I don't run any routers myself that run that, so I'm limited by what my routers can produce, but I've had no problems with connectivity or anything like that. It seems to work really good. Now, for those of you that are Huawei users that have either a Huawei cell phone or a Huawei tablet or anything like that, you do have the, what do they call it here? Super device. I think they call it a super device. So you can bring your Huawei phone or your tablet and you'll actually see it right here, Huawei Share, so that you can actually share the information on that phone or tablet to this laptop. Cool feature? Yeah. Have I been able to try it? No. No, not at all. I have no idea. But if it works and you have a Huawei tablet or phone, I think that's going to be really cool. Speaker-wise on this too, you can see on the bottom here, here's the little speakers on there. I think this is the vent, but these are some of the speakers. They have a Huawei sound, I believe they call it. Really quite impressive. It's actually really good. Again, the Huawei sound, I think, is on all of their current laptops. And I have it on the 14S as well as the D15. There's not much you can say about it. It sounds really quite good. Again, I play as something, but you'd be like, it sounds like a laptop because you're not hearing what I'm hearing. But a few things, I think because they are bottom firing and you can put this on a desk, you get that nice low end that comes from it reflecting off of a surface. And however they are doing, maybe they're equalizing or anything like that, the sound coming out of it, quite good. Ports wise, this seems to be a machine, and there's a plus here and there's a negative here at the same time. So on the left hand side here, you will see that there is an HDMI, full-size HDMI. I believe it is, and I'm not 100%. I don't know if it's a 1.4 HDMI or 2. It's definitely not a 2.1. It has a USB 3.2, I believe it is, Gen 1, and it has a USB-C port on it, which is great. It's kind of all the, you know, current and future ports. So it's got some. Now on this side, so on the right-hand side when you're looking at it, you have a mic jack, headphone jack, combo jack, and you have two USB 2.0 ports. Now, I would love to have seen them be two USB 3.0 ports, but they're 2.0 ports. So I wouldn't necessarily use them for any kind of data movement because it's going to be slow. But if you want to plug in an external mouse, or you want to plug in an external keyboard, or you have a USB microphone, or you have USB headphones, or you have a printer or something like that, then these ports are going to be great. They're going to be more than adequate. They'll do everything that you need them to do. Just realize that if you're plugging in a hard drive or an SSD or anything with data movement, don't do it on this side. Unless, of course, those are USB 2.0 devices, then fine. I would love to have seen them be 3.0 or faster, but at least you have those on the left-hand side. So just kind of be aware. Now, the other thing, too, that I don't know if this is a thing with all like Intel machines, because because currently, again, I'm mostly a Mac user, but it has they call it like a power mode, I guess it is. You can't do it when it's on battery. Has to be plugged in, and it basically changes all the settings, so it kind of goes into horsepower mode. And again, it doesn't go on battery because it would kill your battery so fast. But it is just a keyboard switch, which I really like it. You can use the function and the P button, and it goes into power performance. That's it, performance mode. And I usually go in that mode if I'm plugged in, if I'm playing games or doing video editing or anything like that, because I don't need it to have, you know, long lifespan. Now, if you were to unplug it when you're in performance mode, it automatically kicks back into its standard mode, and you're ready to go, which is kind of nice. Last but not least, in regards to this machine, webcam. The mics and the webcam in general are there. That's kind of all I can say. They're there. You don't necessarily need to go get something else. You know, you don't need to. I probably would. If you look here on the keyboard right there, there's a little camera. You tap that, right? The camera pops up. Put it down. Now, what I do like about that is privacy-wise, is you know that if that's down, it's not recording anything. You can't see anything. It's seeing the inside of the computer. But it's not a great angle, right? If you're sitting like this, if you're really close to it, it's seeing your chest. You have to sit back like here with it just for it to see you properly. It's a 720p, I believe, camera. It is really small sensor for sure. It needs a fair bit of light. It's not great. I really, really, really do hope that their next series of laptops, for one, doesn't put it there. Even on their 14S, where they have their webcam kind of in the traditional spot right up here on the screen, it's also not great in quality. It's a better position, but it's not great performance-wise. Microphones, they're okay. There's two microphones in the front right here, right there at the top. The 14S has two additional ones. They're fine. You definitely want to make sure your laptop's fairly close to you, like this kind of range. Again, it's a weird spot. If it's, you know, it's fine. It records audio. We're good. But again, even with the webcam, like I know a lot of people that put them up on stands, so they kind of have them sitting like this when they're working. That keyboard camera is literally shooting the desk. So I would, if you have this laptop or you get this laptop, I would invest in a webcam if that's something of importance to you. Other than that, you know what? It's great. I have the 14S and I have this one, and there is a lot of times that I end up just pulling this machine out and using it because I've really enjoyed the screen. I do 16:9 again, plenty of brightness, right? I don't know what it is for nits or anything like that. You guys can check out their website. They have their specs all listed there. It says it comes with, on their website, it says it comes with Windows 10, but it did come with Windows 11 for me. And it gets all the updates. It's great. It doesn't have a lot of bloatware on it. You know, it's pretty clean. It's not bare bones. It has like the Huawei software on it. But other than that, yeah, I've been happy with it. If you're looking at a $800 to $1,000 laptop in that range with good performance, able to kind of, like I said, play some games, do some productivity, you want to be able to watch a lot of movies, you want to do some video editing, et cetera, kind of an all-round package, especially under that $1,000 Canadian mark, I'd say this is a really, really, really good option. I've been super pleased with it. I've been contemplating, for a lot of you that watch the channel, that we're setting up a YouTube streaming station so that we can do some lives. This may, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be this or the i7. One of these two will be the base of that whole system that we are setting up. So make sure you stay tuned to see that build. We're going to be starting, hopefully, that build first week of February, I hope. We should have all the pieces here. And that's it. This is the Huawei Matebook D15 with the Intel 11th Gen, 8 gigs of RAM. And yeah, I'd give it a thumbs up. All right, my friends, I'll put links down below to Huawei's website if you guys are interested, and I'll leave you there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and we'll see you guys next video. Later.